It has been a decade of Hermann Hesse's Siddhartha. The novel Siddhartha is about the spiritual path of a young man named after the Buddha. Hermann Hesse's story takes place in 6th century Nepal, the birthplace of Siddhartha Gautama, also known as the Buddha. Siddhartha, the protagonist, is born into an affluent family of the Brahmins or Hindu priests. Even though the scriptures provide answers about the soul and its immortality, Siddhartha is eager to encounter individuals who embody this reality. Inspired by Buddha, who gave up his kingdom, Siddhartha abandons his lavish lifestyle and embarks on a quest with his closest friend Govinda to discover the purpose of life. Concept of religious India. This fable about the Brahmin child seeking redemption was based on a common conception of India held by Indologists or Western academics studying India at that time. Hermann Hesse, like them, had a romantic view of ancient spiritual India. This was founded on German Romanticism and ancient India of the Vedas and Romantic Hinduism. Despite his strict Protestant upbringing in Calv in southern Germany, India appeared to be a natural choice for him. His mother was born in Kerala, South India. In addition to learning Malayalam, the Protestant Christian missionary also authored a lexicon and a treatise on Malayalam grammar. Hesse embarked on his tour in 1911 to see Java, Bali, and Sri Lanka, followed by a trip to southern India and a return voyage to Europe. He was left bedridden by a terrible stomach disease after seeing the Indonesian islands and had to abandon his intentions to go to southern India. Hesse's tour left him both awestruck and dissatisfied since the author could not locate the idealized picture of India on his travels to Indonesia and Sri Lanka, which, in his perspective, were a part of India. This sensation dissipated gradually. Hesse finally thought that genuine India consisted of philosophy, asceticism, and profound life reflection, as did the German Romantics. He felt that the Eastern philosophy would remedy the issue of spiritual decline in Western culture. He intended to include this concept in his work, which advocated a sort of asceticism in the Hindu and Buddhist tradition. This ideal also represented Hesse's pursuit of the ultimate truth, the counterculture. When Siddhartha was released in the fall of 1922, it was not quite a flop, but it did not gain instant popularity either. Literary communities in Germany considered it romantic and twee to a certain extent. Decades later, when Hilda's translation of the novel was released, it gained worldwide acclaim. The book gained popularity due to the student movement that began in Europe in the 1960s and expanded to North America and certain parts of Asia. It achieved cult status among the Woodstock generation who opposed the Vietnam War and the parents' traditional values. On a worldwide scale, it was a work that had become the novel of the counterculture of the 1960s and 1970s. Siddhartha joined the other hippie classics such as The Psychedelic Experience, a manual based on the Tibetan Book of the Dead, 1964, by Timothy Leary, The Way of Zen in 1957 by Alan Watts, and On the Road by Jack. Siddhartha in India. Departments of German studies in Indian institutions began adding Siddhartha to their reading list immediately after its release in 1922. The first German studies department in India was established in 1914 at the University of Pune in Western India. Following the release of the English edition, sales increased in India as well. The film 1972 adaptation of the book was also very successful. The English language film was directed by the American director Conrad Brooks and featured Indian actors Shashi Kapoor, Simmi Garewal, and Romesh Kapoor. Since the establishment of the Hermann Hesse Society in Kerala in 2005, the number of translations of the work has exploded. Siddhartha has been translated into various Indian languages including Malayalam, Punjabi, Gujarati, Urdu, Bengali, and Marathi. Enduring spirituality. Siddhartha is a book that may be related to any age. It is an individual's voyage into the self, a quest for one's position in the world. The prodigal son myth, set in ancient India, depicts any generation disillusioned with the prevailing cultural conventions. With the development of the anti state leftist Naxal uprising, 1960s and 1970s were a difficult time for Indian student politics, and as a result, Siddhartha resonated with the Indian readers. Even a century from now, the book will provide a method to comprehend the purpose of life. It will be relevant forever. People will find its significance in the issues posed since Siddhartha, the protagonist, is an outsider who observes the society and his life from a distance and travels beyond or outside of it to discover purpose. In other words, Siddhartha illustrates the unending spiritual search for solutions to life's fundamental issues. Spiritual concerns are always pertinent and never out of date, since they are not tied to a certain moment in time.